Under an employment promotion program, it is proposed to allow sales of newspapers on the buses during off-peak hours. Okay, so this business model is based on newspapers. Okay, the business what will happen is the newspapers will be sold in the morning. It will be kept in the shops, but some people they are not able to buy the newspaper from the shop. Okay, they may be going hurriedly to their office. Okay, so what the newspaper company planned is they are planning to sell the newspapers and the buses during off-peak hours. Okay. So normally people will buy the newspaper in the morning timing. That is before going to the office or before starting their work. Before 9 o'clock they will read the newspaper at home and then they will go. Okay. And after that nobody will go to buy a newspaper for that day. Okay, but after morning 10-11 o'clock afterwards people will not buy that day newspaper because it was already known to everybody. Okay, so the company wants to promote the newspapers even after the morning timing. Okay, so that means off peak hours means maybe after 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock 11 o'clock. If somebody is coming to buy the newspaper, they are ready to give some offers for them. Okay, so what is the offer is they are giving the offers to the vendors. Vendors means people who are taking from the company and they are selling to the customers. So what is the offers given to the vendor is the vendor can purchase the newspaper at a special discount rate of 25 paisa per copy against the selling price of 40 paisa. So normally at morning 6 o'clock the newspaper is selling at 40 paisa. So what the vendors they will do is they will take the newspapers from the shop after 9 o'clock at 25 paisa and they will go to the buses and they will sell the paper for 40 paisa. Okay, so they will do like that so that they will get some 15 paisa benefit for them. Okay, so what is the risk here is any unsold copies are however a dead loss. Suppose you are going to shop and buying after 9 o'clock some 25 paisa the paper, and if you go going to sell it in the market and if nobody is buying means it is totally waste. You cannot give back the paper to the company. Okay, so any unsold copies are however a dead loss. A vendor has estimated the following probability distribution for the number of copies demanded. Okay, so there is one person, he every day go to the shop, take the newspapers and he go to the market and sell it and he is making profit. Okay, so through the past experience they derive a probability. So how many papers they can sell on one particular day. Okay, so they have taken the statistics for some days and this is the probability tabulated. So 15 newspapers selling on the day, the chance is 0.04. That means there is 4% chance that 15 newspapers will be sold. And 16 newspapers will be sold some days, the chance is 19%, that is 0.19. The 17 newspapers will be sold, the chance is 33%. Okay, so 18 newspapers will be sold, the chance is 26%, 0.26. 19 papers will be sold, the chance is 0.11, and 20 papers will be sold, the chance is 0.07. Okay, so he clearly tabulated. So some days he calculated, some 100 days he make the sales and see that how many days, how many papers are selling, and finally they put it in the table. Okay, how many copies should he order so that his expected profit will be maximum. Okay, now if the vendor aim is to sell the newspapers and to make the maximum profit, okay, so how many newspapers he can buy in the morning, that is the question. Okay, so first thing is, if such a problem is given, you should know what is the purchase cost, what is the selling cost, and what is the profit for the person. So here this is the purchase cost for the person, and this is the selling cost for the person. So what is the profit? The profit is, so you know, the profit is equal to selling price minus the purchase cost. Okay, so what is the selling price here? The selling price here is 40 paisa and he purchased at 25 paisa. So if a newspaper is selling, he can make a profit of 15 paisa. This is for one newspaper. This is for one newspaper. Keep this in mind. Now what we are going to do is we are going to make a tabular form for this. Okay. Listen to this table, how to calculate this. I will show some of them. So 15 paisa is a profit. Okay, so this is the profit for paisa. So since it is a paisa, I put it as 0.015 paisas. So the whole calculation is for the reals. So 0.025. So 0.025 is the loss. Suppose if he is not selling that, okay, if the newspaper is not sold, how much is the loss? 25 paisa is the loss per paper. So this is the total loss, okay, per paper. If a paper is sold, this is the profit, and if the paper is not sold, this is the loss. Okay. Now let us assume that from the table it is clearly given that the requirement will be from 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so this is the demand level. Okay, we want to choose which one is suitable for us. So let us calculate the demand levels: 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Assume that the vendor is purchasing 15 newspapers on one particular day. If he purchases 15 newspapers on a particular day and he go to the market, so this is the demand. Okay, this is the demand. This side we are writing the demand. So how much is the demand? Some 15 persons, they are coming and buying all the newspapers. So how much is having newspapers? He is having 15 newspapers. 15 people are coming to buy from him. So that means he can give 15 papers to these 15 people. So how much is his profit? So the profit for him is from each and every paper he get a profit of 0.15. So therefore, out of 15 papers he make a profit of 0.015. So how much coming? 15 multiply 0.015 is 0.225. That is the profit, total profit for the 15 papers. Is having only 15 papers, but 16 people are coming to buy from him. Is it possible to sell all the 16 peoples? It is not possible. Why? Because he is having only 15 papers. So 15 papers means he can give it to only 15 peoples. So he cannot make all 15 sales, 16 sales. Only he can make only 15 sales, 15 into 0.015. So his profit again going to be 0.25. So if he is having 15 papers and if the demand is coming more, still he can sell for only 15 papers. Okay, so therefore the profit for him is 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. So roughly you can remember like this. See these two numbers, take the small number and multiply with the profit. Okay, so what is the minimum number? 15 and 16. Minimum, if between these two numbers 15, take the minimum number, multiply it by 0.015. Then let us assume another scenario. He is buying 16 newspapers. When he is buying 16 newspapers, but only 15 people are ready to buy from him. Only 15 people are ready to buy from him means, so he is having 16 newspapers now, but only 15 people are coming to buy from him. Only 15 people are coming to buy from him. He can sell only 15 newspapers. Assume that every person is buying only one newspaper. So 16 is the demand, 15 is the demand, and 16 newspapers he is having. So what will happen is he can make 15 sales. So 15 sales is 15 into 0.015. So how much is that? 0.225. So he make a profit of 0.225. But today what happened is there is one newspaper which is unsold. There is one newspaper which is unsold. That means it is a dead loss. So how much is the loss? The loss is 0.025. So one newspaper was not sold. The net loss for every newspaper is 0.25. So 0.25 is a loss for him. Okay, so one newspaper was not sold. So this is the profit, this is the loss. Do the subtraction. So how much coming? 0.200, or simply you can say 0.2. So his profit is coming 0.2 here. Okay, now coming to the next scenario. What is the next scenario? Next scenario is he is having 16 newspapers and demand is coming 16. So 16 people are coming to buy the newspaper. If 16 people are coming to buy the newspaper, what will happen is he can sell all the 16 papers. So when he is selling all the 16 papers, for every paper the profit is 0.015. So 16 newspapers, the profit is going to be is equal to 0.240. Okay, so you can multiply 16 into 0.015, it is coming 0.240. So again, by the same logic, if 17 people are coming, you cannot make 17 sales, you can make only 16 sales. So 24, 24, 24, 24. Okay, so this is the second scenario. So if now let us take the third scenario. What is the third scenario? Third scenario is we are going to have the 17. So we are having 17 papers with me now. Okay, if you are having 17 papers, assume that your demand is only 15. Okay, so how many papers we can sell? We can sell 15 papers and 2 papers will be lost. Okay, so if we are selling 15 papers, how much is the profit? The profit is 0.15. 15 into 15, okay, 225. So this is the profit for us. But we don't sell 2 papers, is there a dead loss? Okay, so for every paper it is left out 0.025. So this is the loss. So 0.025, that is going to be 55 into 55 is 50 by the loss for us. So subtract it. So this is the total income, this is the loss. So when you are subtracting, it is coming minus 0.175. Okay, so our profit is 0.175. If you are having 17 papers with you and only 15 people are coming to purchase, our profit is 0.17. 17 papers, but 16 is the demand. So when you are having 17 papers, 16 demand means you sell 16 papers. If you sell 16 papers, how much is the loss? One paper is the loss. Okay, so if you're selling 16 papers, how much money we are getting? We are getting a profit of 0.015 profit, and the loss is 0.025. So how much is that? 16 into 0.15 the loss is, and the loss is 0.025. Find the subtraction for this. One paper is lost, so therefore it is coming to 0.215, that is a profit. So that is the number we have written here, 0.215. Okay, so if the demand is going to 1717, we have 17 papers and 17 people are coming to buy, which means there is no loss. So how much we are going to make the sales? Sales is going to be 17, there is no loss. So total profit is 0.15 is profit per paper. So 17 into 0.15, the answer is 0.255. Okay, just check the multiplication, 0.255. So that is this number. So likewise, you can calculate this whole table. Okay, so whenever there is a loss, you can make a subtraction. Whenever there is a profit, you can multiply them. Okay, so therefore we make this table completely. Now after this is not sure things. Okay, so getting 0.025 is not very sure, but it is having the probability of 0.04. So what we are going to do now is we are going to convert this profit into the expected payouts. That means take this 0.04, multiply with this 0.25 and fill it up here. Okay, so fill it up here. So that is this 0.09 is given by 0.04 multiply 0.225. Okay, so this number multiply with this number, we will get this 0.09. So just check it whether what is the multiplication for this. 0.04 into 0.225, it's equal to 0.009. Likewise, take this number, multiply each and every number, 0.04 into 0.2, 0.8, okay, 0.4 into 0.75, 0.7, 0.04 into 0.15, 0.6, 0.04 into 0.125, 0.05. Okay, so we convert everything into a probabilities. So likewise, you can complete this whole table. Up to this, you can find it. So first step, we calculate what is the payoffs. This part we are calculating, and second part we are calculating what is the profits from here. Now, expected profit means you find the total of all these values. Okay, find the total of all these values. All these values, the total is going to be 0.225. So for 16, it is going to be this profit 0.242. Okay, so we find the total in this line. Okay, total. Now, out of all these numbers, you take the maximum number. Okay, so that is the biggest one. Okay, take the big value. So this is the biggest value, 0.2442. That means if you are purchasing 17 papers every day, you can expect a profit of 0.2442. Okay, this is your expected profit. Okay, so this is how we can maximize our profits.